Chapter 11 Destiny's Knock. Long time ago, there was a beautiful palace in the middle of the city of Baghdad. The palace had a beautiful garden with a majestic fountain in the center. The palace was so attractive that whoever saw it would stop to see and praise its exquisite beauty. There was no other building equivalent to it in beauty and splendor in the entire city of Baghdad. One day, a poor man happened to pass by that way. He was mesmerized to see the beauty of the palace. He said to himself, "If the palace appears to be so beautiful from outside, how much more attractive it would be from inside. How I wish I could see it from inside too." But he hesitated to enter the palace because he feared that because of his shabby attire, he would be chased away. Right then he observed that a group of people were going inside. He thought, "Why can't I go inside with these people?" He decided to enter, thinking that nobody will notice him in the midst of the crowd. So he ran and joined the crowd. At the gate, the attendants welcomed each guest and guided them to the drawing room, which was elegantly decorated and royally furnished. They did notice the poor man in his shabby dress, but thinking him to be the attendant of any one of the guests, allowed him to enter the palace. The poor man did not go to the drawing room. He stood against a pillar in the entrance hall. After some time, he saw the owner of the palace come to the drawing room. The owner was a rich sheikh of Baghdad, whom the poor man had seen before in the city. All the guests stood up in his honor, but the sheikh asked them to take their seats and feel comfortable. The poor man stood in the hallway for some time, hearing their conversation, and pretended that he was waiting for his master. When food was served to the guest, an attendant came to the poor man and asked him to go to the room in the other corner and eat his food. The poor man was served food in a plate made of gold. He was stunned to see that even the dogs were eating in gold plates. When fresh meat was served to a dog, it ate its food and ran out of the room, not bothering about the presence of the poor man. The poor man had never been served such sumptuous food in his life. He ate the meal to his satisfaction and thought, "Should I take the gold plate?" He continued to think, "In case I get this plate, I can start my business and can become rich." But he was afraid that if he takes the plate in which he had been served food, it might be noticed by the attendants. So he planned to steal the dog's plate lying in the corner of the room, thinking that it would not be noticed. After some time, the attendant came and asked him if he wanted some more food, to which he denied. The attendant picked up his plate and asked him to go out and wait in the hallway. When the attendant had gone away, the poor man picked up the dog's plate and hid it in his clothes. He came out stealthily without being noticed by others. When he had come out of the palace, he thought, "Now I should not live in Baghdad any more. It would be dangerous to live here. If the missing plate of the dog is noticed, I shall be caught and punished." The poor man moved to a small town away from Baghdad and started a business there. Soon he prospered and became rich. One day, while he was sitting after his Friday prayers, he thought, "Though I have become rich, but still I am under the debt of the owner of that beautiful palace from where I had stolen the golden plate. I must pay back his debt." So he loaded a lot of valuable things on camels and proceeded towards Baghdad. On reaching there, he straightway went to the splendid palace, but he was surprised to see the ruins instead of that beautiful palace. After some time, he saw an old man who was sitting in the shade of a tree in the garden of the ruined palace. He went to him and said, "There used to be a beautiful palace. Could you tell me something about the palace and its owner?" The old man replied, "Yes, you are right, but that beautiful palace has now turned to ruins. Nobody knows which turn destiny will take." The businessman said, "I want to meet the owner of the palace. I have to repay his debt. Do you know him and his whereabouts?" The old man replied, "I am the owner of the palace, but I am unable to recollect if I have ever lent a loan to anyone. What debt are you talking about?" At this, the businessman narrated all that had happened a few years back when he had stolen the gold plate and started his business. He further said, "I earned a lot of money and profit. I have brought some presents for you and request you to accept them." But the old man refused to accept the presents on the ground that it was the dog's plate that was the reason of his present status. So the presents could not be accepted. The businessman again said, "Your arguments are strange. The dog was yours and the gold plate was yours." But the old man said, "No, I am not selfish. I will not accept anything from you." Saying this, the old man